Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss tuberculosis and we are studying this topic under pathophysiology third semester GTU for pharmacy students. While considering tuberculosis, it is an infectious disease which is specifically caused by bacteria like Mycobacterium tuberculosis, and it is not like that it is spreaded only through these kinds of bacteria. There are other Mycobacterium family bacteria are there. Even it can lead to form other forms of tuberculosis. It is potentially fatal and the most contagious disease, and it is not like that again it only affects the respiratory system. It can affect any portion of the human body, but the bacteria usually attacks to the lungs, and after that it will get spreaded to other tissues of the bodies. And while coming to the certain cases of tuberculosis which even do not show any symptoms of infection, right, in initial stages, and it is termed as the latent tuberculosis, and we can consider that out of the cases of latent, that is 10% progresses to the active forms of TB. That is what the classical TB. While considering the word, actually it is basically Neo-Latin word which involves two specific different words. One is tuberculi and next one is osis. Tuberculi is the round nodules or the swelling, and osis, that is a kind of condition. While considering the organism, as I have stated earlier, while coming to the humans, or in cases of humans, it is spreaded through Mycobacterium tuberculosis. Whereas in the cases of animals, TB may be because of Mycobacterium bovis. There are other causative organisms like Mycobacterium africanum and Mycobacterium microti. Next, even we can consider certain non-Mycobacterium genuses like Mycobacterium leprae, which is responsible for the development of leprosy. And for leprosy, you can refer our previous videos where I have completely explained what is leprosy and how exactly it will get transmitted with its pathophysiology. Other species or other genuses like Mycobacterium avium and Mycobacterium asiaticum. So, in cases of human beings, it will get transmitted from one to another through their respiratory droplets or through the respiratory system. Next, in this case, you can see that those specific bacilli, it generally multiplies in respiratory system, or initially we can consider that the where exactly Mycobacterium tuberculosis act, it will be in lungs. And as you can see here in diagram on right side, that indicates that the presence of those tubercular bacilli in those alveoli air sac, which is the actually the potential site for the exchange of gases. While considering the Mycobacterium tuberculosis, they are basically rod shaped, as you can see here in diagram, right? They are rod shaped with diameter of 0 to 0.5 micrometer and micron and 2 to 4 micron in length. It has got mycolic acid which is present in its cell wall, and due to the presence of mycolic acid, it allows to have acid fasting or the acid fast stain. Again, it resists the decolorization with acid and even in alcohol. And generally, they prefer the aerobic respiration, and basically they are non-motile in nature. While considering its multiplication, they multiply very slowly and it can remain dormant or in that specific condition where that is what null non-multiplying condition, right, for even decades or for up to many years. It may have a not at all any kind of symptoms. While considering the classification, we can classify it according to the parts involved into it, that is pulmonary TB, and the extrapulmonary TB. Is name indicates pulmonary TB. It involves those pulmonary vessels or the pulmonary tubes. That is what the air sac. That is the primary bronchioles, secondary bronchioles, and the tertiary bronchioles. So it is primary disease, and again further it can classify into primary and secondary, that we will see in detail in next slide. Next, other than extrapulmonary organs, they may get affected with the help of or infected by these such kinds of tuberculous bacilli, which are already multiplied in or already present in or within the pulmonary, or we can say that which may have a infection in lungs. While considering extra, first that is the lymph node TB, next is the pleural TB, next is TB of the upper airways, skeletal TB, genitourinary TB, miliary TB, pericardial TB, gastrointestinal TB, where it involves GI tract. Next is the tuberculosis, meningitis, and certain less common forms of the tuberculosis. And we will have a detailed discussion on such classification over each individual types of the TB. While considering the type, pulmonary TB in that first, that is primary tuberculosis. See, while considering the primary, it it will have a direct effect on the those alveoli air sac, and the infection of an individual who has not been previously infected or immunized is called as a primary tuberculosis or the Gons complex or the childhood tuberculosis. Is here there are two specific conditions are given. First, who in or who everyone which is not at all in came in a contact with the Mycobacterium tuberculosis, so they are the potential target site. And next one, who did not have a vaccinations with the or they are not immunized with the specific types of immunity or specific types of the vaccines, right? If it develops in these two specific conditions, they are called as a primary tuberculosis or the Gons complex or childhood tuberculosis. And here the lesions forming after infection is peripheral and accompanied by the healer, which may not be detectable on chest radiography. So in initial cases of the pulmonary tuberculosis, that is the primary tuberculosis, symptoms may include chest pain and prolonged cough, which again may produces this sputum. We can consider here that most probably 25% of people may not have any symptoms and they may become asymptomatic. Occasionally, people may cough up blood in small amounts, and in very rare cases, the infection may erode into the pulmonary artery, causing in the massive bleeding. Right? Next one, that is the secondary tuberculosis. In this case, individual may have a initial infection with the Mycobacterium tuberculosis. In this case, it is called as a secondary or post-primary or reinfection or the chronic tuberculosis. Next type, that is extrapulmonary TB, which affect other than respiratory system. See, other than respiratory system means once it will have their infection in respiratory system, after that it may get transmitted or it may have their initial infection to other organs. So, in most probably 20% of the patients of the TB patient, extrapulmonary TB can be seen, and their affected site can be first the lymph node TB, that is tuberculous lymphadentis, and it is generally seen frequently in cases of HIV. See here, in cases of HIV, we know that it is human immunodeficiency syndrome, right? And this is what human immunodeficiency virus or acquired immunodeficiency syndrome, right? AIDS. In this case, the virus will be HIV. It may causes potent immunosuppression activity, or we can say that what immune system is already suppressed. In these cases, there are much chances that there will be a formation, or there will be a chances to develop lymph node TB. And generally symptoms can be painless swelling of those lymph nodes, and it is most commonly at the cervical and the supraclavicle. Next one, that is the pleural TB, which involves the pleura, and this pleura will be present, or which covers or it encircles the lungs from their outer region or the outer membrane, which is a kind of cushions which provides the protection to lungs. In this case, the involvement of pleura is common in primary TB because it is very easy to migrate from lungs to the pleura, and after that the other regions of the organ or the other regions of the body. Third classification or third type into the specific extrapulmonary tuberculosis, that is TB of the upper airways, where it involves the larynx, pharynx and epiglottis, and symptoms can be dysphagia, chronic productive cough can be seen. In cases of genitourinary TB, you can see that most probably 15% of the all extrapulmonary cases may remain with the genitourinary, where it involves the genital tract, and it may involve the any part of the urinary tract, and again it may get infected with the Mycobacterium tuberculosis, leading to urinary frequency, dysuria and the hematuria, and this is again a life-threatening condition. In cases of skeletal TB, where it involves most probably all those weight-bearing parts, like we can consider spinal cord or the spine, next to is the hip bone and the knee, and general symptoms involves the pain and the swelling of the knees with trauma. Sixth condition into that, that is the gastrointestinal TB, which involves the gastrointestinal tract, and it can involve any part of gastrointestinal tract, leading to abdominal pain, diarrhea and the weight loss. While considering the numbers or the epidemiology, in this case we have a certain data from the 2011. In this case, it is estimated that through worldwide, 8.7 million patients are suffering from tuberculosis. So, while considering the ratio, we can say that 125 is to 1 lakh population. Out of 1 lakh population, 125 may suffer from the tuberculosis. While considering the cases or the distribution of cases throughout the world, in cases of ASEAN, most probably those 59% cases of the tuberculosis will be from Asia. Again, in that India is leading. Next one, African countries. 26% cases are from Africa, from Eastern Mediterranean region 7.7%, in cases of European region 4.3 percentage, and the regions of the America, where it involves just 3% patient may suffer from tuberculosis. Yes, here this census is given just for knowledge, right? It is not important for exam point of view, but just to know the severity of disease. As you can see here, in cases of India, right, and this data is provided from the or by the WHO, right, World Health Organization, and it is said in their one report in 2012 that India have the highest number of cases. As you can see that India is leading with almost 22 lakh cases of the TB. Next is China, that is 10 lakhs. Next is South Africa with 5 lakh. Next is Indonesia, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Philippines. Next is the Congo Republican. Next is Ethiopia, Nigeria, Myanmar, Vietnam. See, all those countries most probably are from Asia. So one thing is sure that while considering the geographical indication for the tuberculosis, it is spreaded throughout the Asia. So that one should understand that we are more prone to develop Mycobacterium tuberculosis infection or the TB. While considering the spread, we know that it is the most contagious disease. It may transmit from one to another, and one more advantage with the tuberculosis, that is it cannot be transmitted from animals to the humans, right? Because even while considering the milk from the because while considering the milk from the animals, it cannot spread through the milk or through the animals to human. So here, while considering the coughing, one should have a uh, kinds of like we can consider simple, those handkerchiefs or the hanky should be there to cover their mouth, right? So coughing without covering the mouth, again it is the potential sign. Next is all those crowded places, like it can be a theater, mall, or public transport or everything. And the third one, that is the spitting everywhere. So they are the potential sites for the spreading of the tuberculosis. While considering symptoms, here you can see a spider-like arrangement, that is the web-like arrangement, right, or network. That is actually indicates the site with whether it is pulmonary tuberculosis or the extra pulmonary tuberculosis, right, where it includes the productive cough. Next, that is persistent cough, chest pain, coughing with the bloody sputum, the shortness of the breath, urine discoloration, cloudy and reddish urine. Next is the fever with chills and the fatigue. Because we have already discussed their types, right? In cases of extrapulmonary tuberculosis, it may involve more than 10 different sites which may get infected with the Mycobacterium tuberculosis. Risk factors. In cases of risk factors, first thing, that is the low socio-economic status. So it is the most potential site for the spread as well as for the contamination of the Mycobacterium tuberculosis. Right. Next one, the crowded living conditions, one where person used to live or habitat in surroundings with crowding of people or the most of the crowd, right? So it can be again a risk factor for the development of tuberculosis. Diseases that weakens the immune system, as I stated earlier, in cases of human immunodeficiency virus. In this case, HIV, those individuals suffering from the HIV or AIDS are the most potential sites or the targets for the TB. And the persons who have immunosuppressions, like steroid healthcare workers, they are more again prone to develop tuberculosis. Next is the migration from a country with a high number of the cases. If one is flying from one to another destination, where exactly if from originating country, the country is full number of cases, like just like India, right? Someone is traveling from India to other country or America, it may happen that it may get transmitted over there. Next is the chronic alcoholism and the recent tubercular infection within hospital, we can consider 2 years, right? They can come under it can comes under the reinfection or the post tuberculosis infection. Next one, that is the pathogenesis. All we need to remember is the pathogenesis, right? While considering the Mycobacterium tuberculosis, as we know that they are slow reacting or the slow multiplying, right? So once it enters into the lungs, it directly bind or attaches with the macrophages. That is what the pulmonary alveolar macrophages. Macrophages, again, a kind of defense mechanism involved in the pulmonary system or the respiratory system. Once that specific Mycobacterium bacilli or the bacteria attaches with the macrophages. See, while considering mycobacteria, it binds with the macrophages with the help of specific mannose receptor. Remember this receptor, that is mannose receptor, because those mycobacterium will have a mannose into their structure. So with the help of mannose receptor, it will bind with the specific macrophages which are present in respiratory tract. Now, with the help of phagocytosis, it enters into the macrophages. So, bacteria ultimately directly invades those specific immune cells, that is macrophages. Now, while considering the macrophages, it has got certain proteolytic enzymes with the lysosomal content. But under the influences of this specific Mycobacterium tuberculosis, there are also processes will undergo cessation or it stops. So while considering this, that specific bacteria starts multiplying within the macrophages only. So that is what the phagosomal multiplication, which maturation or while considering maturation, it automatically arrested it, and there will be a lack of the acid pH, because as we know that the macrophages, which are immune cells, or which has got capacity to neutralize any specific mycobacteria or any specific bacteria. But here in initial stages or infection before the activation of cell mediated immunity, it is the initial event where exactly the cell mediated immunity is just not started and it is in initial phase. It is so here the cell mediated immunity is itself in a inactivation mode. Now one mycobacteria undergo multiplication within the alveoli macrophages, and further those mycobacterium tuberculi, it will get transported from the lumen of the macrophages to the blood. It may enter to the blood vessels or through any way. So now there will be a bacteremia, and this specific bacteremia with seeding of multiple sites. So once it enters into the or Mycobacterium tuberculosis enters into the blood or the lumen, where exactly it starts seeding its bacteria in so many organs or the specific organs where it is appropriate to undergo further multiplication, and now that it will get distributed throughout the body. Next is the second event into the pathogenesis. So first event was the infection before the activation of cell mediated immunity, and it may generally require 0 to 3 weeks for completion of the first stage. Now coming with the second stage, that is the initiation and the consequences of the cell mediated immunity. It means once cell mediated immunity is activated, those specific alveolar macrophages will bind with the Mycobacterium tuberculosis antigen with the help of T cell receptor. See, what is a T cell? They are the representer, because generally those Mycobacterium tuberculosis will get transferred up to the alveolar macrophages with the help of T cells. And further, those alveolar macrophages releases interleukin 12. So now there is we can see that a complex with alveolar macrophage, the presence of MTB antigen and the T cell. Now it initiates the T helpersen 1 or activation of T helpersen 1. See, while coming to this specific stage, once T helpersen 1 is formed, it or those specific macrophages may undergo activation, causing liberating those phagolysosome or the phagocytic activities. Now onwards, that specific macrophages can undergo certain bactericidal action. So here in cases of initial infection, the uh, specific cells, that is alveolar macrophages, were in inactive stage. Now it is under activation, or now it has already been activated with the help of same Mycobacterium tubercular antigen and with the representative cells like T cells. So now there will be a mycobacterial killing. In that case, first thing, that is in initial stages we have seen that those lysosomal enzymes or the components were not liberating. Once that specific bacteria entered into the cell, now it starts process or start forming those specific lysosomal content, or it undergo further maturation and activation of it. So it ultimately increases the pH. While considering the pH, that increasing means, what I mean to say that the pH will be too much acidic, and this specific acidic pH cannot be tolerated by Mycobacterium or mycobacteria of the Mycobacterium tuberculosis. In additional movement or in additional phases, even there will be a release of nitric acid, as well as there will be a production of those reactive oxygen species. And third phase, that is autophagy, will automatically starts. So now with this specific reaction, so here we are discussing about the from 4th week to 3 months, where this specific activated macrophage can causes to release further TNF alpha as well as certain other chemokines. So it ultimately causes the monocyte recruitment at the site of infection, and it further causes the caseous necrosis of the surrounding cells, causing the formation of granulomas. So those granulomas are formed. Okay, next is the diagnosis method. In this case, first thing, that is the bacteriological test can be performed, that is the Ziehl-Neelsen stain, as well as it can be stained with Oramine stain with the fluorescence microscopy can be used for further investigation of the Oramine stain. Next one, the sputum culture test, where sputum will be collected and it will be grown in Lowenstein Janssen solid medium, that will be for most probably 4 to 18 weeks. Next is, in cases of liquid medium, it may require 8 to 14 days to for the culture formation or the further multiplication of the bacteria. In agar medium, it may require 7 to 14 days. Even radiography can be done. For that radiography, chest X-ray will be done, that is CXR, that is chest X-ray. This is very easy method for the detection of the Mycobacterium tuberculosis infection. Next is nucleic acid amplification can be done while considering for the once the specific bacteria is not identified, right? Or for we can say that species identification, nucleic acid amplification is required, and it may take several hours. While considering its sensitivity, it is low sensitive and its cost is too much, right? So it has got low sensitivity with high cost, and the most useful for the rapid confirmation of tuberculosis in persons with the AFB positive sputa, that is what the acid fast bacilli, where it resists or their specific bacteria may resist or bacteria may resist undergo staining, and it may undergo staining so that it cannot be further stained or be identified. Even in cases of AFB negative pulmonary tuberculosis, it can be used with certain extrapulmonary tuberculosis. Fifth and the most important technique, that is the tuberculin test, where this specific tuberculin will be injected into the skin, specific lower arm, right? And here once with the help of fine needles, it is entered into the dermis, or it is poured into the dermis or injected into the dermis layer. It will be checked after 48 to 78 hours, 72 hours later, right? For any kinds of reactions or the sequences. Here the diagnosis will be done on the size of the wheel, that specific pump, right, formed with the help of or the presence of the tuberculin. Here most probably with the one dose of the tuberculin test may contain 0.04 microgram tuberculin. Here we can see that how exactly the tuberculin test can be interpreted. If the specific diameter, if you have seen there first this slide, here you can see that that mark is noted, right? So within the specific time duration or on specific time intervals, if the diameter is less than 6 millimeter, we can say that person is negative. And if the diameter is between 6 to 55 or 15 millimeter, we can say that the person is hypersensitive to the tuberculin protein, and maybe because of the TB infection or due to the BCG vaccine. Or if it is more than 50 millimeter, we can say that the person is strongly hypersensitive to the tuberculin protein, or one can suggest that person is suffering from tuberculosis. What kinds of preventive measures can be done? In this case, one can or one should wear mask, and then all those children should be vaccinated or immunized with the help of BCG vaccine, and it is widely available. Next is the regular medical follow-up can be done. Isolation of patients who is suffering from TB should get isolated him or herself, and person should be kept on the enough ventilation or good ventilation with the natural sunlight, and UV germicidal irradiation can be performed. So here there are certain tips, that is personal hygienic conditions should be maintained, immunization can be done, healthy lifestyle and the healthy environment should be provided. And next is the gathering, or we can say that the personal habits, right, can be changed for the further prevention from the tuberculosis. And the last, that is the management. In case of if person is suffering from tuberculosis, we have two specific choices, that the first line of drugs and second line of drug. First line of drug may have a high sensitivity or higher activity with, we can say that, less side effects, and second will have more side effects with the lower activity. But in cases of first line of drug, if person is already have developed resistance toward it, towards the first line of drugs or the first line treatment, person should be prompted to have second line of drugs. So in cases of first line of drug, we can have isoniazid, rifampin, rifapentine, rifabutine, ethambutol, and the pyrazinamide. Whereas in cases of second line of drug, one can use cycloserine, ethionamide, levofloxacin, moxifloxacin, getafloxacin, para-aminosalicylic acid, streptomycin, amikacin, kanamycin, and the capreomycin. So this is all about the pharmacological approach for the treatment of Mycobacterium tuberculosis infection or the tuberculosis. So this is all about tuberculosis. So we will once revise it by considering tuberculosis. As we know that the tuberculosis is an infectious disease and caused by specific bacteria called Mycobacterium tuberculosis. We had a discussion on their causative agents with their transmission, how exactly it will get transmitted from one to another. And next is the classification. When considering the classification, we can classify it according to the presence of symptoms, or we can say that on the basis of the part infected with the bacteria. In cases of symptoms, according to symptom, we can consider the latent tuberculosis, where one which does not show any symptoms, right, or person may be asymptomatic, whereas in the cases of active tuberculosis, person will have symptoms. In cases of other classification, we can consider it as pulmonary tuberculosis and the extrapulmonary tuberculosis. Whereas in the cases of pulmonary, it is very easy, it is confined to the respiratory system. Whereas in the cases of extrapulmonary tuberculosis, we can see that it may present within nervous system, or it may get transmitted to the pleura or the central nervous system or the lymphatic system or the urinary system, gastrointestinal tract. Right? And when next we have a discussion on the pathogenesis, where the pathogenesis were divided into two. That first, that is the initial reactions or the initial processes, where it involves 0 to 3 weeks, and after that, once the colony is formed, or the colonization completion or the multiplication is completed, it further poured into the, or Mycobacterium tuberculosis may get entered into the blood for further seeding of the mycobacteria. Next is the activation of the specific cells, that is the pulmonary activated macrophages. So this is all about the tuberculosis. Thank you very much.